Run It Back Nation, what is good? Sixers sickos, what is good? We got approximately 1 month until training camp and preseason. This month is the worst month of the entire year. It's terrible, but we're going to get through it. And then everything kicks off. Basketball is back. Our lives are fun again. The Sixers officially signed Geurschon Yabusele. I don't know why I forgot his first name. I'm the one that was making fun of people for not being able to pronounce it. The Sixers officially signed Geurschon Yabusele yesterday. And he is here in Philadelphia today doing media stuff, okay? We're going to talk about the fact that they officially signed him. We're going to talk about, there's some details about the buyout that I think are interesting. I found on a website from the EuroLeague. And we're going to talk about, do you think Yabusele has the ability to actually be a starting power forward at some point this season for the 76ers? Pure speculation, but I want your opinion. And we're going to talk about the one thing the Sixers valued this offseason that is glaringly obvious, and it's the one thing that's been missing all of Joel Embiid's career. All right, thanks for being here. Before we get into this, give me 1 million likes on the video. No, realistically, let's try to get 1,000, okay? If we hit 1,000 likes, nothing miraculous will happen except for it'll help me and the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for that. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're not subscribed. 50% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed. I would just appreciate it if for this free content I give you, you just hit that little red subscribe button, baby. We're on the road to 25,000. All right? Let's get down to business! Yeah, my son is in school now. School started again, so I can scream. There's nobody in the house. I can scream without him coming up here and saying, Dad, what's going on? What's wrong? Here you go. The 76ers announced they officially signed Geurschon Yabusele. There's the announcement from the Philadelphia 76ers on Twitter. Full release. Oh, that's Reggie Jackson. They replied with full release, but it says Sixers signed Reggie Jackson. Somebody messed up there. Admin, get your stuff together. You're about to get fired, all right? They signed Yabusele officially. It is a 1-year, $2.1 million contract. Yabusele retweets and says, let's go Philly, brotherly love. Wrong. This is not the real Geurschon Yabusele. This does have almost 7,000 likes on it because everybody thinks this is the real Geurschon Yabusele. But I'm going to snitch on you, Gio. This is actually Sixers Gio who made this Yabusele Muse page, and people on Twitter are believing that it's the real Geurschon Yabusele. So I got to hand it to you, Gio. You are the king of this Twitter troll stuff. Everybody in the replies thinks it's really him. I know it's not, and I just snitched on you. Sorry for that. But yeah, Geurschon Yabusele Muse at least retweets and says, brotherly love. Now, let's talk about the buyout details because I think it's kind of interesting to understand, you know, what his contract was with Real Madrid and how he ended up coming over here and what it actually costs him. Yabusele is paying money to come here. I told you he took a pay cut. I didn't realize he was actually paying money to come here. You know, here it is from Real Madrid. They said, thanks to the club, the entire squad, my team. Oh, this is Yabusele comments. Thanks to the club, the entire squad, my teammates, and the fans for those unforgettable years. In 3 years, despite the ups and downs, I have grown as a man, learn from the best, and become a better athlete. I think he has become a better athlete. I think he looks nothing like he looked when he first came into the NBA. So Real Madrid will earn 2.5 million euros from the termination clause of Yabusele's contract, of which the 76ers cannot pay more than $850,000. So his last year in Real Madrid was 2.5 million euros. I was talking dollars last time. It's 2.5 million euros, obviously, because you're in Europe. And in agreeing to terminate that contract, the 76ers can only pay $850,000 of that. So Yabusele himself is required to pay more than 1.5 million euros to Real Madrid. And he's earning $2.1 million in his first year in Philadelphia. So really, again, taking a major risk on himself, a major chance on himself. I respect it. I think it's great. What is the conversion rate of dollars to euros? 0.9. So $1 equals 0.9 euros. So we're going to do 2.5 million times 0.9. 2.25. So 2.5 million euros equals 2.25 million dollars. So it's almost the same, but it's a little bit less. So he's required to pay 1.5 million euros to Real Madrid. 1.5 times 0.9. To put it in perspective, he has to pay $1.3 million to Real Madrid, and he's earning $2.1 million on his first NBA contract. So really, he's only earning about $700,000, $800,000 by coming back over to the NBA, where he could have earned, $2.3 million, 2.5 million euros for his next contract, or for his last year in Real Madrid. But he could have earned another 3, 4, 5-year contract where he would have made 10 million, 11, 12, maybe 15 million at Real Madrid. He's gambling on himself to try to get that NBA contract, which could be in the 20, 30 million dollars per year range, depending on how much he shows out. So there's the details on that. Now, I want to talk about, and I was using my calculator and my notes went away. Let's see. Yabusele is here. Shout out to Paul Hudrick. He said he thinks he's a great fit with the Sixers. He said former Sixers and French natives Timothée Luwawu-Cabarrot, wow, forgot about him, and Nicholas Batum spoke fondly of Philly. Don't you guys remember TLC was a first-round draft pick? TLC and Furkan Korkmaz, drafted ahead of Pascal Siakam. Don't let me remind you about how bad the Sixers were at drafting for years and years and years. So shout out to that. There he is. I don't know what this says on his shirt. It's in a different language. Maybe I'm just not cultured enough to know. But I'll be interested to hear, the things that he said in this press conference. Now I want to ask you guys the question: do you think Geurschon Yabusele can start at power forward at some point this upcoming season? Let me know in the comments. Do you think he can start at some point this upcoming season? Here's the thing. He early on when he was in the NBA, he wasn't anything what he looks like now. And so you can't really gauge what he looked like in the NBA before. People say he was in the NBA and he was trash. He's overrated now or whatever because of the Olympics, whatever. I just don't think it's the same player. He's in better shape. He has a much more versatile skill set. He has a much better three-point shot. I mean, he looks like a much different player than he looked when he first came in the league. And I ask you if he can start, if you think he can start, because he has the size. We need to talk about if it will translate, right? He has the size. He has the shooting ability. He has the off-the-dribble creation. He has the finishing at the rim ability. I don't know too much about his rebounding and defense, but I think he has a lot of skills and size that make him the perfect option at power forward. Seriously, if it translates. Can it translate? Here's what I'm stuck on. He averaged 10 points and 4 rebounds last year in the EuroLeague for Real Madrid. He only averaged 10 points per game against, the likes of Furkan Korkmaz's cousins and Luka Doncic's cousins and Jokic's cousins and all those boys. You would think if he's an NBA level talent, he would have averaged in the 20-plus point per game in the EuroLeague. So that's where I'm a little bit hesitant. All of the things that I think about him as a player, how did he only average 10 points per game in the EuroLeague last year? You know what I mean? But then in the Olympics, and yeah, it's a one-game sample size, but in the Olympics, France versus the U.S., he dropped 20 points against the NBA's best players, against the NBA's best defenders, and little dribble drive, dunk on LeBron James. So it's a one-game sample size, but his game might actually translate in the NBA at this point better than it did in the EuroLeague for Real Madrid. I would love it. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying he's going to be the starter. I'm making a hot take. I'm making a prediction. I'm not making a prediction. I'm just saying if Yabusele could become the Sixers' starting power forward, then we get so much more depth, because then you could bring Kelly Oubre and Caleb Martin maybe off of the bench, I would probably still start one of those guys. With the Sixers starting lineup the way at least it looks like right now, it looks like you got Kelly Oubre and Caleb Martin both starting. I think that's a little bit redundant. You know what I mean? I would love I think Tyrese Maxey, Caleb Martin, Joel Embiid, Paul George, Yabusele starting lineup, and then be able to bring Kelly Oubre off of the bench, or vice versa. Or you start Kyle Lowry again, and you have Maxey at the 2, and you have Paul George, Yabusele, Joel Embiid, and then you can bring Caleb Martin and Kelly Oubre off the bench, and Reggie Jackson, and Jared McCain, maybe, and Andre Drummond, and Reggie Jackson. Did I say Reggie Jackson already? And Adem Bona. This just makes the 76ers so deep and gives Nick Nurse so many options and so many things that he can do with the lineups and versatility in the lineup. This is easily on paper the deepest roster with the most flexibility that we've seen in the Joel Embiid era. And that's what I want to talk about. Daryl Morey focused on one thing this offseason, and that is he focused on versatility. The 76ers, for the whole process era, all of Joel Embiid's career, they've had a bunch of one-trick ponies. Every year, they had one-trick ponies, and it was so frustrating to watch all the time. Bro, even before Joel Embiid, even in the process years, they had a bunch of one-trick ponies. You know? Isaiah Cannon, for example, right? Just chuck threes, can't do anything else. The 2019 roster, if you look on this team, who had versatility, right? Robert Covington, I wouldn't call him versatile, especially at the time. He could catch and shoot threes, he could play defense, but you never wanted the guy to dribble a basketball, and he couldn't make a layup. What I saw from him this past year was much better than that, and then he, his knees said, listen, we're done, bro, we got to retire. But the only real versatile player on this team, Markelle Fultz, broke his shoulder, couldn't shoot. Tobias Harris, we don't even have to go there. Furkan Korkmaz, we don't have to go there. TJ McConnell can't shoot. Shake Milton was a G League player his whole career. He was massively overrated by the Sixers fan base. I said that for a long time. JJ Redick, one-dimensional. Dario Saric, I guess versatile, but he didn't really have much athleticism on an NBA level. I still like Dario, by the way. Ben Simmons, do we have to go there? Landry Shamet, incredibly one-dimensional. Zaire Smith didn't even make it to the NBA. I'm not laughing. He had an allergy. But it was insanely one-dimensional. And this is just the 18-19 roster, Even Jimmy Butler. No, Jimmy Butler was versatile, but also not a great three-point shooter, not a floor stretcher. Daryl Morey in his first year to actually have cap space to build out the roster, he targeted versatility. And Ricky Council IV is versatile. Jeff Doughton Jr. is versatile at the point guard position. I don't think he's talked about enough. He's only on a two-way. The Sixers' point guard depth is wild right now. Andre Drummond, backup center. Not going to call him versatile. He is what he is. I don't know too much about Justin Edwards. I saw him in the summer league a little bit. 6'8", 203-pound shooting guard, though. That's a good size for a shooting guard, and he's a lefty. We'll see if he, gets any run. I think he's also on a two-way contract. Paul George, obviously versatile. Four-dimensional, right? Can catch and shoot threes, can get to a mid-range, can create his own shot, can dribble drive, can finish at the rim, and can defend. Eric Gordon, over the course of his career, was versatile. I don't know what he has left. He's 36 years old. We'll have to wait and see that. Reggie Jackson, versatile point guard. Kyle Lowry, versatile. Catch and shoot, dribble drive, can play defense even still, at least from what I saw last year at his age. Caleb Martin, incredibly versatile. Catch and shoot threes, can dribble drive, can create his own shot, can finish at the rim, can defend, hates the Boston Celtics. Caleb Martin might be my favorite signing this offseason. KJ Martin, I'm not going to call him versatile. One-dimensional, but can be used defensively. Tyrese Maxey, obviously versatile. Kelly Oubre can plug and play in a lot of different lineups. Not a great three-point shooter, but I'll still call him versatile. Yabusele, versatile. Jared McCain, we don't know yet. But you go from like zero. I think the only versatile player on the 2018-19 roster really was James Ennis. So you go from that to 5 or 6 actual plug-and-play versatile players. And that's what Daryl Morey targeted this offseason. And I think he did an amazing job. And we'll have to see, how it turns out. 1 month! 1 month! Thanks for hanging out with me today. You guys are the best. I'll see you soon.